Hello, and welcome to SHAREfactory 101. Today I'll be showing you how to edit your videos, add captions, add pictures, split your videos, etc. First, you're going to want to hit New Project. Here you can choose your theme. There are particular themes for certain games such as Dreadnought, Ghost Recon Wildlands, and Rocket League. And there are other themes such as the SHAREfactory themes for this one, this here, and this here. There's also the four at the bottom, which are the originals: the Playroom, the PlayStation, and the SHAREfactory. Any of these themes is fine. For this video, we're just going to be using the PlayStation 4 theme because that's the most generic. Here you can choose your intro, the title, and the outro. For the beginning, basic PlayStation 4, it only has 3. There's also the SHAREfactory clip, of which you can always disable by simply pressing X. Now this clip will no longer be selected, so it will no longer affect your video. You'll also want to make sure you select your video clip. So for this one, I'll choose this. And I'll deselect the middle title. Now if you look to your left, it'll say selected 3 clips and the time is 59 minutes and 45 seconds. The maximum amount of clips is 50 and the maximum amount of time is 80 minutes. You cannot exceed that limit ever. So what we're going to need to do if we want to add even more clips to that is we'll have to edit it. So we'll have to start project by pressing square. It'll ask you to rename your project if you wish. I'm just going to hit continue. This is the editing part of SHAREfactory. From here you can use your right stick to scroll through the video, or you can use your touchpad to flip through certain video segments. And if you wish to get to the very end, if there was such a segment that you wish to get at the very end, you can always hit R1, which will send you straight to the very end. It'll also bring you right to your outro, because that's where the last cut is. L1 will also bring you back to the very beginning. Now let's move right along into editing. If you press square, you will see time bender, split clip, trim clip, movie clip, delete clip, pan zoom, edit overlays, edit music, and clip volume. Certain people's recordings have different volume settings. For me, I'll need to turn this all the way up to 200% so that way anyone can hear any of the audio or any of the game. From there they can adjust the volume on their devices or their computers or their whatever they use. And I'm going to confirm that. We need this whole clip to be at 200%. The outro and the intro do not need to be at this, because they are already as loud as they are. So we'll move them to 65, and I'll move back to the other side, and I'll do the exact same thing over here. So now that we have our intro, outro, and our whole clip set to the volume that we want, we will now move into the editing phase. You'll need to hit square, and you'll need to select split clip. From here, you can select your best moments and cut out all the remaining fat. Essentially, just like cutting a steak. So if everything else is boring in your clip, you can always just cut out everything else. Now we've arrived at where we want to split our clip. The next 5 minutes will be entertainable, in a sense. The rest of this has been filler and us running up to the point where we actually need to be. So here you will hit X, and it'll ask you if you want to split your clip. You'll confirm that. And now the rest of this that has nothing to do with your video or anything that you want to edit out has been moved off to the side. If there's anything in this clip that you want to save, you'll want to go back and clip this, so that way there is a segment that is not clipped. Why? Because if you want to keep your video under a certain time limit and you want to delete these fragments, you'll want to hit square while you're on split clip. This will give you the option to delete your clip, and now you have less of a clip. There's also 46 something minutes of nothingness that I can delete right here. So I will delete that. And now the video has been trimmed down to 12 minutes and 3 seconds. Let's move on to overlays. To add an overlay, you will simply need to press X and add overlay. From here you can add stickers, text, and imported images. To have an imported image, all you need to do is have a USB drive and configure it to your computer and to your PlayStation 4. To do that, you're going to need this. I'll let you look at that for a couple seconds before I actually move on to anything else. By configuring your USB to your PS4 and to your PC, you should now be able to import images, videos, and music. I will get to those briefly in a moment. But for now, overlays. Once you're in your overlay menu and you would like to select any overlay, select it by pressing X. You then have the option to transform, change its occupancy to nothing or everything. You also delete, layer order of a sticker. If you have multiple stickers, you can change which one pops up before another, and alignment. By going to transform, you can make the sticker bigger and smaller with the R1 and L1 button. You can also rotate it by R2 and L2. Once you have found the place that you want your sticker to be, simply press X. Again, confirm if you want to transform, change it, delete it, or layer order it. You simply just have to hit cancel, and you're done. Now that we have placed our sticker, we can hit back. It is now going to be there for the remainder of the video. So, how do we keep it from not being here the remaining rest of the video? All you have to do is hit square, go to split clip, and find the time that you want this sticker to stop. Once you split, it will stop after that segment of the clip. So if we stop it here at 16 seconds and we split, the sticker will no longer show up after that moment. It'll only appear in this segment of the clip. If you would like to trim or cut it even further down, have the sticker in there for, let's say, a split second, you can only cut down a video to 1 second. It has to be exactly 1 second. As you see, it will not let me trim here, here, or here. It has to be exactly 1 second for me to be able to trim. So right there, I can now trim. That is exactly 1 second long. And if you would like to trim it even further, we're going to back out of splitting clips, and you're going to hit square. You're going to go to trim clip. Here it's going to show exactly how small this clip is, and I'm not even sure if it can be fine-tuned at all. So we're going to back out, and we're going to go to this side of the clip. We're going to trim clip. So to trim any clip, you see that there is a left and right side. L1 and L2 will trim this side of the clip. L1 will cut it in. L2 will bring it back out. The same thing with R1 and R2. R1 will cut the clip, and R2 will extend it. Simple, right? And now we're done here. So all you have to do is back out by hitting circle. Now, if we hit square again, we can now move a clip, delete a clip, or clone a clip. If you wish to clone a clip, simply press clone. And now we have a repeating double secondary clip, of which we do not need, so I will delete that clip. Let's say we want to move this clip. Press square, go to move clip, and use your R1 and L1 to move it to wherever you desire. So if you wish to put it at the very beginning or at the very end, you can do so. Let's talk about pan and zoom. To pan and zoom, press square and go to pan and zoom. This allows you to zoom in on any portion of your clip at any given time. Also, it is good to note that this is the exact same effect as the overlays. It only lasts for a certain section of a clip. So if you don't want it to last for your whole video, you're going to have to cut it at a certain point. Let's confirm. Now you'll notice this whole segment is now zoomed in. So if we hit play, it zooms in. And it's only zoomed in for that amount of time before it comes back out to the full picture. Now let's say once you've got done with all of your editing and you're good to go and you say, you know what, I can't edit anymore today. You'll want to hit options, and you'll want to hit save project. If you find a certain picture that's funny or that's neat, You can also generate the thumbnails, so that way when you're going through my gallery of videos, you can find, oh, this was the one I was editing last week, the one I wanted to continue and I never did. By selecting Generate Thumbnail, the project now has a generated thumbnail showing this exact moment on your project. Let's talk about music. I told you guys you could export and import music, videos, and pictures. So what we'll need to do is we'll need to hit X, and we'll need to go to Add Track or Add Music. To add music, you will have a certain variety of music already in, mostly being the really crappy music that they give you. The ones with the faces on them are imported music that I have brought from the computer. So let's add a theme that everybody can use. Let's add Pressure Plate.
Buildings to the right,
Got them both?
southwest. Oh, there are more people?
Yeah, I can kill them. Essentially, you can edit any part of this just like your actual video. So if you hit square, you can split the music, trim the music, move the music, delete music, music volume. You can actually have it fade in if you wish, or fade out, which is preferably what a lot of people do. Now to move it, you simply just need to go to move and move it around just like any of the other video clips. It's essentially that simple. You can also add screenshots by pressing X. You can go over to Add Clip, Add Screenshot, or Add a Filter. If you add a filter, it'll just give you something like this. To add a screenshot, press X and Add Screenshot. SHAREfactory gives you 9 screenshots that you can automatically use, a couple of which have moving pictures for whatever reason. And then you can also use your own pictures. You can also import a picture, if you wish, from your PC using the USB port and the import pictures. Let's talk about transitions. To add a transition, press X and go to Add Transition. From here you have dissolves, wipes, and cinematic. All of these differ for whichever theme you choose, because some themes come with better cinematics. For now, let's just choose a cinematic that is okay. Now, to press play, simply hit R2. And there was your cinematic. You can also edit your transition by simply pressing square and going to Edit Transition. You can delete, replace it, or set the volume. If it's too loud or too low, you can always turn it up or down by using the volume setting. You can also replace it if you just didn't like it. Now earlier I put in a filter and I never explained it how to edit. So if you hit square and you go to Edit Filter, you can delete it or you can set it to a different setting. Like if you didn't want it to be red, or if you want it to be green or blue or whatever, you can always change that color. And then if you simply just didn't want it and you accidentally put it in, you can always delete it.